Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers with Showsite, here with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. And today, for episode 25, we are going to be talking about ramping it up in the ring. So, Lee, before we get started, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
It's good to see you as always, and good to have all of you here with us. Please feel free to say hello. Sherry, thanks for joining us. And Sherry, I'm going to ask you and everybody else if you think that it's time to ramp up your handling. And today we're not talking about ring procedures or presentation techniques. We are talking about actual ramps, the kind that are mandatory for the examination of some breeds and are optional for others. But I want to ask everyone if they know that any breed might be asked to be presented on a ramp. So if you are joining us today for episode 25, please let us know where you're from, let us know your breed, and let us know if your breed is a ramp breed or a ramp optional breed. And if you don't know, let us know that as well. So today we're going to be talking with the dog show mentor, a multi-group judge, a best in show judge, and we're going to get the judge's take on the use of ramps and how we can present our dogs on those ramps. So Lee, you're the dog show mentor. Before we get started, could you just remind everyone exactly who the dog show mentor is and how everybody can find you and can see about becoming a member of Dog Show Mentor?
I will, because October is our Member Appreciation Month, and it's also our 6th anniversary, if that's possible. And so I developed this program to help owner handlers figure out what the judge is really looking for, and as a result, then able to be more competitive and win more in the ring. And so if you'd like more information, how to get started, go to dogshowmentor.com and check out what we have to offer. All right. So, the owner handled group. Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers is the name of the Facebook group. And come and join us, answer a couple questions, because I want to know who you are and what you'd like to get out of showing your dog, and what your biggest challenges are. So let me know so that I can help you through my posts. Hey, Ginger from St. Louis, and Diane, how are you? Sherry from Lewiston, Minnesota. All right, Denise, hi there. Maureen and Aylin Collins, hi. All right, we're seeing some familiar names.
Welcome back. We're so happy that you are loyal viewers. If this is your first time joining us here at Ring Ready Live, we want to welcome you as well. Lee, you mentioned something last week, or perhaps it was the week before, where part of Dog Show Mentor membership is that the members get a chance to reflect on what they did and how they got there. And you ask, well, what did you do differently? That's a real important question to ask, isn't it? If you've had a success and you finally achieved the goal, well, how did that happen? What did you do differently?
Yeah, don't rely on your lucky lead. Right? I mean, maybe the reason that lead is lucky is because it's comfortable in your hand, or maybe it's light on the dog's neck, or whatever. So, don't rely on your lucky lead.
I love that. Luck plays a part in showing dogs, but it certainly isn't something that we can depend on weekend after weekend.
Well, at Dog Show Mentor, we say luck is a combination of preparation and timing.
You heard it from the Dog Show Mentor. Luck is a combination of preparation and timing. Being ready for when the opportunity strikes, you are ready. And I can attest that the Dog Show Mentor, Lee Whittier, is going to help you get ready for when it's time for your dog to shine in the ring. Becky, hello. Theodoros, hello from Greece. Welcome. And Judy from Chicago. And Jenna, welcome. I know you're in Philadelphia. It's nice to have you with us as always.
Okay.
Wow.
And identify that Kaysen is a ramp breed.
It is indeed. Yes,
Identify that for us, please.
let us know if your breed is a ramp breed. Let us know if you have any questions about the ramp. Perhaps you were in the ring and all of a sudden you found that your dog was requested to be on a ramp. We're going to get to all of that in a moment. But Lee, I also want to remind everyone that as per usual, your show schedule, your traveling schedule is full. And I just want to remind everyone that they can find you in Port Huron, Michigan. You will be in Ramapo in northern New Jersey. And then you're traveling to the Speedway cluster in North Carolina. Of course, we're going to see you at Morrison, Essex, and at Montgomery.
I will be there the whole weekend. I will be there from Wednesday through Sunday. Best in show at Montgomery County.
Fantastic. So we hope that all of you will be there as well. And if you see Lee or myself those days, and Lee is not judging, and we would just love to say hello and meet you face to face and meet your dogs as well. I also want to say that Megan, your customer relations manager, she's going to be in Raleigh, Gray Summit, Missouri. She's going to be up in Romulus, New York, and Megan will also be in at Morrison, Essex. So as an owner handler, Megan is always interested in you and your goals with your dog. So please be sure to say hello to Megan as well.
Absolutely. And I see that Vanessa has chows in South Africa. So share with us, do you show them on the ramp in South Africa? Because they are a ramp breed here. Yeah, no, rat terriers are not a ramp breed. You're right.
Lee, let's just remind everyone that as a multi-group judge, on any given day, you can have upwards of 175 dogs that you are examining. Some of those breeds are on the ground or on the floor. Others are on a ramp. Others are on a table. So as a judge, you're standing, you're bending, you're stooping. It's a very physical activity that maybe those of us who show one or just a few dogs every day, we're not aware of that. But the AKC has very specific rules regarding the use of ramps and those breeds. Could you speak to, as a judge, just the rules? Let's just remind everyone, we're not going to recite the rules today, but they can find those rules, and they're very, very clear as to how ramps are used.
Right, sure. So there's a list of breeds that must be judged on the ramp and a list of breeds that may be judged on the ramp. So at the risk of reading on a Facebook Live, I am going to read the list of breeds that must be judged on the ramp. They are Clumbers, Sussex, Bassets, Chernecos, Bulldogs, Sharp Hay, Chows, and Kaysons. Right. So those are breeds where you have to have the ramp, and every ring has a ramp now, or the superintendent does a schedule so that two rings could share a ramp. And AKC has a regulation on exactly what the measurements of it must be and how big it must be. It's not left to chance. So, and I believe that could be found in the show trial manual, and it is likely in the rules as well. I'm not here to, as Dan said, quote the AKC rules verbatim, but I am here to talk to you about the ramp and how you can use it to your advantage as an owner handler, or as do we have professional handlers here? Maybe some professionals. All right. And then Diane says, once a dog is judged on a ramp, can a judge go back over the dog or dogs on the ground? I thought they had to put the dog back on the ramp. Diane, that is a table breed requirement. And if I had a ramp breed that must be judged on a ramp, I would put it back on the ramp. But if it may be judged on the ramp, I wouldn't necessarily do that. It depends. No, Aileen, beginner puppies would be done the same way that according to where the dog is examined, not just because it's little, because a 4-month-old puppy is probably, as little as a Stafford in some cases. And ramp optional breeds, there are quite a few more. I don't need to read all of them, but they do include some sporting and hound, working, terriers, standard schnauzer, yes, terriers, and then some non-sporting and some herding. So all the groups and miscellaneous, the Moody and the Norbottensbets also may be judged on the ramp. We call it ramp optional.
One of those breeds is the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and we have a question from a handler in Puerto Rico who's saying that the Staffy, some judges use the ramp and some may not. So, Lee, that's the optional part, is that would it be the judge's preference that it's optional for the judge?
That's a really good question. It is at the judge's discretion. So if you as an exhibitor, it's not your option. It's a judge's option. Now, I've had exhibitors come to the ring and tell the steward that they wanted to ask the judge to please use the ramp. And I'm happy to do that personally, but that is up to the judge. And you should ask, you ask the judge, you don't ask the steward. You ask the steward to ask the judge if there's clarification there, right?
That's a very good clarification. And would that request be made prior to the start of judging for that day, or prior
that would be good, yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be made in the middle of judging English Springer Spaniels. Like, for all the dogs in that breed must be judged in the same way. You couldn't put one whippet on the table in one class and then put another one on a ramp in another class, right? So
that's an important distinction. So if your breed is one of the ramp optional breeds, you really want to prepare your dog for those times when that ramp may be in the ring. Would you have any suggestions as the judge? I would imagine that some dogs are better prepared for examination on a ramp than others. And you mentioned the dimensions of that ramp. So I would imagine that depending on the size of the breed, you may want that dog positioned in a certain area on that ramp. Would those two assumptions be true?
It is absolutely right. And I've been known to take the duct tape from the superintendent and make a box on the ramp and ask the exhibitors to put the dog in the box, because so for example, you talked about 175 times leaning over, and I was thinking, okay, so if I'm not judging toys at a show and I'm only judging breeds that are ground or ramp, but even if I am judging toys, I am bending, right? Every judge is bending. And so what I like when the exhibitor puts the dog to left of center, right? Right of center for me, left of center for them, so that I can easily reach the dog and without having to bend too far. On the ramp, the same thing, left of center and as far forward as possible, because I want to be able to reach the dog. I don't want to have to, go all the way over and bend that far. I want to be able to have that dog close to me. I can see it well. I can touch it well. I can have an effective examination, right? I want to have an effective examination. And that's best done when the dog is in a position where I can get to all the pieces and parts easily.
So that's, you've heard it all from the judge's point of view. So those of us that have ramp breeds or ramp optional breeds, we have our work cut out for us. Any suggestions? Well, let me just ask this question. In your experience, Lee, do most of the dogs of those ramp optional breeds, do they seem comfortable on the ramps? Do you feel that most of those exhibits are prepared for the exam that you just described?
That's an interesting question. And here's why. I do find that 95% of dogs that ramp breeds are happy to go on the ramp. There are a few young dogs or inexperienced dogs, but for whatever reason, people are training more. Maybe these are breeds that are groomed on the table, and so they're comfortable getting on a table. But for whatever reason, I do find that dogs are, and in fact, sometimes they are better trained than the table breeds. Sometimes the table breeds are not trained to stand for exam. They fight their owners. That's a much lower percentage of happiness or training on the table than on the ramp. And I can't say why that is. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. Have optional breed Welsh Springer Spaniel. Hey, Nora. Thank you for letting us know. Yes, the Welshie's good. Lovely breed. So yes, it's and another thing I wanted to mention is about the photo stand. When dogs, I do find resistance with a lot of the larger breeds on the photo stand. And I think that's because people haven't trained their dogs to get up on anything until that moment when they win something. And then it's like, oh, I want a special picture. So train your dogs to get on that, because some of these dogs are too big. Lori says, I would love to show my English setters on a ramp. Come on, Lori. Would save my knees. Oh, okay. I have practiced with them at handling class and actually with a puppy. After table training, a ramp is a great next step before stacking on the ground. And Lori, it's the next step towards that win picture, that ideal, perfect, beautiful win picture that, guess what, you're going to put in Ring Ready, Show Sight Magazine, because you're celebrating your wins. You're honoring yourself, your dog, and the judge. But you're honoring your dog by celebrating that win in Ring Ready as an owner handler. Be proud of that. That's Dan, one of the things that I've noticed is that when I am in my ring and giving out the awards for, during the breed, and I'll say, are there owner handlers here? And I often will get one of these. Right? I am. How about I am? Be proud, right? Be proud. I am. I'm an owner handler. And I just won it. And now I've got to take it to the group. And now I can rank my dog in owner handled. It's not just a singular step. It's a series of steps, and there's a continuum of winning and forward movement. Be prepared for the next step. All right, Angie, good job. Proud of it here. So there's a next step and a next step after that, and you have to be prepared for the next step. Be ready to win Best in Show. Look at who those judges are. Don't wait till you get to the ring. After you win your group one, like, who's judging? I don't know. You should know that, right? Write down all your breed, group, and best every week. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Okay, you heard it from me.
Thank you, Lee. You've inspired all of us who are listening. Lori, you heard that direct from the Dog Show Mentor. So when you and your English setter are stepping onto that podium to have your Best in Show photo taken, you'll be prepared. You will remember these encouraging words. Lee, as a judge, of course, your day is not through until that last photograph has been taken. So from your perspective, do you see the dogs and the handlers that confidently come up to that podium? They just get right on it. Is there a difference between the dog that has been prepared to be on that ramp/podium as opposed to the dogs where maybe the owner handler maybe didn't even imagine that they would find themselves on a podium having
right? And exactly, that's what I'm saying is that yes, you want to be prepared for that win picture when it happens. And somebody here says, Glenda says, our trainer has a ramp and everyone practice on it. Even my Bouvier makes pictures a breeze. There you have it. It's not just from me as the judge. It's from fellow exhibitors.
And for the dog too. I would imagine the dog knows the ramp, feels confident, is just happy to, they know when they've done well and they've won, and they sort of feel proud as well.
A lot of dogs that do agility are comfortable on a ramp. And I've noticed just sort of over the years, people saying to me, oh yeah, we do obedience and agility, or we do agility. Because they have that table and agility, the dog has to get up and I think they have to lie down on it for a certain amount of time. I'm not an agility expert, as you can tell. But Karen has springers and a ramp at home. Good job, Karen. Okay.
That's a great idea, Karen, to have your own ramp. If yours is a ramp optional breed. Lee, I was thinking there are some breeds that simply seem very comfortable to be elevated. I don't know if your breed, the Tibetan Terrier, is one, but there are some breeds that seem happiest if they're perched on the back of the sofa or on a chair looking out a window. For a lot of breeds, they seem to like that elevated point of view. And if that's the case, we're one step ahead. But maybe for those breeds that maybe that's not their innate instinct, we need to give them a hand because
Tibetans love being high. And when I first start taking dogs to shows, putting them on a table helps them really see everything that's going on. Whereas when they're on the ground, you're only seeing that one people's feet, right, or their knees.
Yes.
So to get them up on a table so they can, this is cool. And you'll notice that if you walk through the grooming area, a lot of the handlers have dogs that sit on the table and just watch the show from there that may be personal pets, maybe retired show dog that they've kept, still going on. So walk through the grooming area and just notice if you see people with dogs on a table, and usually like in a dog bed, a cute little donut bed type thing. Yeah.
When
so,
you're out,
go ahead.
Go right ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, when I have a special masterclass coming, and it's right on the cusp of my member appreciation month. It starts 9/28, and it's the first one is creating your own blue ribbon blueprint. The second class is on 10-12, and in it we talk about, are you afraid of winning? What are your fears, and how to overcome your ring nerves. And the third part is on October 19th, and that is getting a piece of the action. And I hope that all of you will sign up for these classes. And even if you can't make it, we'll make arrangements for you to listen afterward.
Those are three wonderful topics. And as an individual who has taken part in one of the Dog Show Mentors Master Classes, I can attest to their effectiveness. You will find inspiration, motivation. You will also be able to kind of examine yourself and your relationship with your dog and really evaluate, well, am I afraid of winning? You're going to do what most coaches do. And Lee is a coach. If you are a member of Dog Show Mentor, you're going to really understand a bit of the psychology involved in your being an owner handler with your dogs. And you've got 3 opportunities coming up beginning on September 28th. I will be joining Lee, and I hope that all of you will attend as well. Lee, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you manage to do all that you do, but we're so grateful for you for this 30 minutes every week on Wednesday afternoons, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon.
This is a great time, Dan. This is great. And it's part of my week. It's time that I've carved out to bring some of Dog Show Mentor to other people who aren't in the program, and give them maybe some different insights than what they've heard from friends or their breeder at dog shows. And Aileen, how do you sign up? The link is on my my Facebook page, Dog Show Mentor, and I can also shoot that to you. And there was someone else who Angie also wanted to know. So there is a link, and it should be posted here shortly.
Aileen and Angie, thank you for that question. Please sign up. I'd love to have you be in the classroom with myself as Lee conducts her master classes. Lee, we've said it before, but our 30 minutes every week with Ring Ready Live is really an introduction to Dog Show Mentor program. This is really just sort of, we cover topics that are of interest to owner handlers, but certainly this is just a taste, if you will, of what's available when you become a member of Dog Show Mentor. And you mentioned Ring Ready in Dog Show Magazine. I want to thank you for that. I want to encourage everyone to reach out to Megan, Meegan, at showsitemagazine.com. Megan will be happy to talk to you about how you can celebrate your wins in Ring Ready and Showsite Magazine. So there's many, many opportunities for you to be connected to this community, to shout out and celebrate your dog and the wins that the two of you enjoy together. And again, we thank you for joining us each and every week here. Next week, we've got an interesting conversation that's going to be talking about going the extra miles. And specifically, we're going to ask the question, how far will you travel for a dog show? How far will you travel for a major? How far will you travel for those Grand Champion points? In America, we're a big country, and many of us don't think twice about a 2-day drive to attend a dog show. So we're halfway across the country. But for other people, that's either impossible or maybe it's even unnecessary. So we'd love to have a conversation where you can tell us how far you are willing to go and maybe how far you have traveled. So that's going to be hopefully a lively discussion, and we look forward to your participation. So Lee, thank you once again for episode 25. It's always a delight to talk to you and share our conversations with owner handlers in the U.S. and around the world. We're obviously enjoying viewership from Europe, from South America, from Africa, from Asia. And we're happy to have all of you here. So thank you all. Lee, until next week, I wish you the best. And I want to encourage everyone that until we get together again, to remember to have fun with your dogs.
And see you in the winner's circle.
Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.